do not start a company because you planned your own wedding. If you feel like after you plan your wedding, you are called to this industry, then what I would recommend is shadowing, interning. Try dipping your toes into something else too, so you understand just the event industry as a whole.
I love the fact that you're so open because ultimately you're going to inspire a lot of people. And I was actually getting a little bit choked up earlier.
With weddings, there's a deeper meaning to me because I know it's not just today, it's the rest of your life. There's so many different challenges in every season of marriage. I get really teary-eyed when the brides look at what they've invested their time in, but not only did I bring their vision to life, I exceeded it. It's one of the most special moments. I love it. Like I squeal, I cry, all the things. It just reminds me that I really am doing what I love and what I'm supposed to do.
Behind every beautiful wedding is a story worth preserving. Hi, I'm your host, Andrea, founder of the nation's premier bouquet preservation studio. Through building that company, I've had a front row seat to thousands of weddings and the incredible professionals behind them. On Bridal Club, I bring you conversations with the experts shaping today's weddings. It's for couples planning their perfect day and the pros who make it happen. Welcome to the club, to Bridal Club.
Welcome back to another episode of Bridal Club. I am so excited for today's episode. Welcome, Hunter Orcutt, to today's episode. I am completely in awe with everything that you do, the way you show up on stories. I love following you, and you always have the brightest, most beautiful smile.
Thank you.
You make everything look so easy, and I know it's not, and I'm just so excited to have this conversation with you.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So for those who may not be familiar with what you do and who you are, please tell us who you are and where you are today.
Yeah. So my name's Hunter Orcut. I own Hunter Orcutt Events, and I started planning 9 years ago. I'm based in the Dallas area. I'm in Waxahachie, Texas, and so I plan lots of different events, not just weddings. We do about 50% weddings, corporate, nonprofit, social events, and so it's always busy around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to what led you to say, I want to be a wedding planner or an event planner.
Yeah.
Where did that spark come from?
Where did it come from? So my degree's in elementary ed. So I never was searching hospitality or communication or being an event planner. It just kind of was one day, I think I could do this just really by the traits that I have. I've always been the helper. I'm the baby in the family, but somehow I'm the one that plans the family vacation and the grocery list. And so my husband and I got married, and I always say, do not start a company because you planned your own wedding. And I didn't do that, but a lot of people think that from my story. But I got married really young, planned my wedding, and then my husband and I were working in a church, and we did a bunch of church events. And then from there, it was like, I think I could do this, maybe. And so I had a few friends that were getting married, so I did it for free for them. And that was 2018, early 2018. And then all of a sudden, it was like, oh, I could really do this. And so by the fall that year, I started a website and really had no idea where I was going, what I was doing, and had to learn the hard way, especially through COVID.
Oh, wow.
And then now it's like, I can't imagine doing anything else. I really can't.
Yeah. And you're so good at it. I mean, for the people that are watching, you guys need to see her Instagram. Every single event that you produce is stunning. And again, you do it with so much grace, with a smile on your face. I love your behind the scenes. I don't feel like a lot of people do that. And I would love for you to walk us through that. However, I want to touch base on your senior girls moment back in the day when you were perhaps getting a little inspiration on what will lead to your career.
So in high school, I was the person that was like always in trouble.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
No
I
way.
was not the AP classes, straight A. I'm the most type B planner probably. But my senior year, all the senior girls in high school before us always had a row in the pep rally in the football stadium. Every girl wore a different t-shirt and had an S and then an E, and it spelled out senior girls. And so it came our year, and I was like, we need to do this. We got to keep this going. And so all summer, I was the one that picked out what shirt size did they wear. I tie-dyed them. I got them vinyled with the letter, made sure the day of each ball game we had a row. Now looking back on that, I'm like, oh, it was in me this whole time. And so I just had to figure out a way to channel it. So it's, again, I love being able to kind of stand with everyone every week with the girls and be like, oh, I did this. And that kind of, now looking back, sparks like, I created a plan. I made sure it happened, and I was able to see it come to life. And that is what weddings and planning events
Yeah.
really
Isn't
is.
that funny?
Yeah.
I mean, an experience that, again, people would normally not tie it to event planning.
Yeah.
But doing that experiment basically with the shirts and aligning everybody and putting everything together and then seeing the execution and the final result. And I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody was super happy. It was like a really proud moment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I was so young. And so now, even looking back at it, I'm like, wow, I was a little
Yeah.
crazy then, you know,
Yeah.
like making sure it happened. So,
I want to touch base on the fact that you said that you got married when you were young.
yeah,
How old were you?
I was 20.
20.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
Oh,
old was your husband?
he just turned 23.
Oh my
Yeah. So
gosh.
we've been married almost 12 years.
Okay. Take me back to that moment and kind of the story behind. I know you said that you've been on different podcasts, and I would love to touch base on that too.
Yeah. So my husband and I met in college. We both went to a small Christian college, and he's 2 years older than me, and he was very adamant, like, if I'm dating a girl, I'm going to marry her. I'm not wasting anyone's time. And I was like, no, I'm good. I want to date around. I'm not sure. I don't want to get locked down. I was 18, you know? And so
young.
he was like, I'm good then. If you want to date around, go ahead. But like, we're not. And so that kind of went a few months, and I was like, no, I really like you.
Aw.
And so I had called him and was like, let's talk. And from there, we were engaged and dating pretty fast. Kind of everything was within a year and a half. And we got married and we moved to Oklahoma. So we kind of moved away from everyone because we were in Dallas. That first year of marriage was pretty hard,
Yeah.
leaving everything, you know. And then my husband struggled with alcohol addiction. And so that is our story, that we were separated. We got married when I was 20. I had my daughter at 23. And then when our daughter was 3 months old, we separated
Oh
for
my God,
15
Hunter.
months. And so for me, I also decided to start a business in the midst of that, which now looking back too, I started the hardest thing possible. I could have
Yeah.
just worked any job, but I chose to start a business.
Yeah.
But I was very much at this crossroad of, if I'm going to be a single mom and my husband is not going to get sober, how am I going to be able to create the best life for her?
Yeah.
And so that, you know, we went on this journey of separation and are you going to get sober? He went to rehab.
Yeah.
There's a lot to that. But I will say he is 8 years sober as of
Wow.
last month. And we got back together and we
Yeah.
started a business together. So even with the weddings, there's a deeper meaning to me because I know it's not just today, it's the rest of your life. And there are so many different challenges in every season of marriage. And so I want to set up our brides with success, not just for the day, but, you know, I've had brides over the years call me and see our story or know our story and ask for help and how to direct them and counseling, different things like that. And so it's all the way around. It is my life and who I am.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with
Absolutely.
us.
Yeah.
I had no idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
And when I was reading about it, I'm like, I love the fact that you're so open because ultimately you're going to inspire a lot of people. And I was actually getting a little bit choked up earlier when you were mentioning that. My parents got divorced and my mom had to figure out how to be a single mom.
Yeah.
And even though my dad didn't have an issue with alcohol, they never got back together, you know?
Yeah.
And the fact that you were able to surpass that and be where you are with your husband sober for 8 years, truly such an inspiration.
Thank
So
you.
again, thank you for sharing that, especially as you said, for your brides, marriage has a different meaning for you.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're able to guide your brides and even talk to them after they're married, that says a lot about you. So,
Thank you.
Yeah. Life sometimes doesn't make sense until you look back.
Yeah.
And you are not understanding why God put the biggest challenge for you right in front of you. But then things happen for a reason, and then you're like the strongest together. I'm sure your husband and you are like thriving right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of that.
He still gets annoyed that I don't put my clothes up, but I mean, we're
Well,
thriving. You know what I mean? We're good.
Yeah, I mean, living with anybody is
Right.
However, what you were able to overcome
Yeah.
is not necessarily what most people go through.
Mhm.
So I'm sure your bond is way stronger than others too. So
Yeah, it is. We
Yeah.
can get through anything.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is the business that you both have?
So we own 4 different companies together.
God.
So I own Hunter Orcutt Events, and then he owns AO Staffing. It's a staffing company. So if any vendors, florists, planners need extra hands, labor, moving chairs,
Okay.
anything like that. And then he owns a hat company, and he does live hat pressing on site.
Oh, wow.
And so that's called Pressed.
Okay.
And then we own a floral company called Brooklyn Designs.
Why did I not know this?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I try to keep them separate.
Okay.
That way, you know, everyone just thinks they're normal
Yeah.
companies and there's no bias either way.
It's so funny because my husband and I own different companies together. And it's one of those things, once you love business and once you're able to work with your husband, it's just so addicting.
Yeah. And I would say just me as a person in general, I know where I thrive and where I don't. I know that this is where I love. I love talking. I love people. I don't like my emails. And so I have someone that helps. But even with us, he is the HR, the accounting. I am the forward facing. And so we just kind of know our roles and how to get things done.
Yeah. I love it. You and I met, I mean, I had been following you for a long time, but you and I met at one of Macy's events.
In a parking lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Oh,
That's
yes.
so funny. And we, again, beautiful smile as always. And we were talking about moms and then we were talking about your kids and you were so grounded and so collected. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were just like super sweet and grounded. I love that about you so much.
Thank you so much.
Two of your values is obviously family and faith. How does that lead you when it comes to wedding planning?
It's like so hard to just answer that with simple, words. For me, family. Like when you're planning a wedding, you are dealing with your family. You're dealing with family money, family drama. You're dealing with it all. And so for me, I really try to redirect our bride specifically, like your family are people that love you, that care about you, that are going to be a part of the biggest day ever. So how can we navigate this? Obviously, my faith, I might be more outspoken than others about it, but I do try to just really redirect as far as kindness and joy and love and just every conversation, even when I'm dealing with the families, but also with vendors. You get a lot of times with planners, they're mean, I always get, you're such a nice planner. I've never met a nice planner. I'm like, we can all be nice and get the job done. And so that's really one of the ways I really try to be a part of the day, be nice. And
which is exactly what I said when I met you, right? It's like, oh my gosh, she's so nice. Like we barely spoke maybe 5 minutes, but I'm like, she's so sweet.
Thank you.
Can we talk to base on the behind the scenes? How do you have time to do all of that?
It's hard. And I feel like I'm failing all the time, if I'm being honest. I've always have this vision in my head that I'm like, oh, I'm going to record all of this. And then by the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't get this. I didn't get this. So it means a lot that you say that. It's really hard. I have a girl that manages my social media to help me with that. And then on days that I'm super busy, but I really want to capture content, I actually will contract someone. I just upload everything in Dropbox and she posts it because I'm like, this is important to me. People want to see this, but I also know my limits and what I can and can't do within a day.
Sure.
But I love sharing because one, it's me. And I'll say my Hunter Orcutt Events page was my personal page. So there's a lot of personal touches and I've always been there. And that's why people follow me. So I didn't really want to change it from my personal to a business.
Yeah, same.
And then it'd be like, unfollow. I don't want to see this. And so I love being able to have both.
Yeah, I love that you said that because it was the same way for me as I grew my Instagram. It was very much, hey, this is what I'm wearing today. I know it has nothing to do with flowers, but this is who I am, And I made so many connections that were very meaningful. There's a book called Superfans. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but I made Superfans. And honestly, I made true friends. Whether they had hired me to preserve their flowers or they were just new friends that I met because they were following me because of who I am. And then I was advised to basically bring my Instagram into like a brand without me in it. And I did that for a few years. And looking back at the difference, I just cannot believe I did that.
Well, I did the same thing. I would say probably the past 2 years, I haven't been as forward facing because my team has been doing things. And so I'm like, I don't want to post all of this. And then people are with my lead planners. But recently I've changed back to it.
Right.
And I love it. And people just get with the program that you're not going to have me 24/7. You see me, we have lead planners, and it is what it is.
As it should be. And actually, when I start following you, I don't believe I was seeing a lot of the behind the scenes that you're doing today. But honestly, this is why I want you here because I was able to, I feel like I know you just by looking at your stories, even though we just had met, well, a couple times because I went to one of your events, which was beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
But it's you showing up with a cup of coffee in your hand. Hey, good morning, with the most beautiful smile at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning.
4:30 this morning.
Hey, this is what my day is going to be like. Even today, you said you had like 4 different outfits.
Yes. I started in my workout outfit, and then I started with my lunch outfit, and I'm in this outfit. This is 3, and then I'm going to change in your bathroom, and then I have 4 because we have a party we have to attend, but there's a certain color scheme. So 4
Yeah.
outfits today.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I don't know how you're doing it all, honestly. But going back to those stories, I also followed you when you were planning the event at Rosewood, the latest event.
Yeah.
And I know it was such a fast turnaround.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through what that was like? And again, oh my gosh, I really want people to understand your aura while you were doing and explaining what you were doing, and knowing that you had such a small time to
Small
do it.
time. I know. Pause. What's really fast. You said I have aura. My 9-year-old told me I didn't have aura the other day. So thank you. I appreciate that. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. But this event at the Rosewood was a corporate client. We had 4 weeks to execute it, and it was really from the ground up. It was at the Rosewood, Turtle Creek in Dallas, and it was the lawn portion. And you have to build all the way from the ground up. So we went from flooring to staging to tent. We draped it, and we brought in lighting. We brought in florals from the ceiling. We brought in custom bars.
4 weeks.
4 weeks, yes, with the holidays. It was between November and December, so there was Thanksgiving. And then we already had a few other corporate holiday parties on the calendar. And then I did 2 High Roxes in the midst of that. One was in Chicago, one was in Dallas.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, I woke up the day after the party and I was like, I actually did that. I can't believe it's over. And the biggest thing for me is the client is happy.
Yes.
We now have a group chat, me and their team,
That's
and we
awesome.
talk. They literally messaged me right when I was walking in here and was like, coffee soon, and so that's what means the most is that I know that regardless if they hire me again, they are happy with the event. And so it was a wild time.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean, obviously 4 weeks is intense.
Yeah.
What, like if somebody's listening to this episode and they're like, okay, I want to work with Hunter, what do you recommend? Like how far in advance of the wedding date that they're setting would you recommend?
It all varies. I love a good 6-month engagement because it gives you just enough time to save the dates and continually keep moving.
Okay.
Versus having, we call it like the wedding dip, where you start on a bunch of stuff and then you there's nothing really to do.
I gotcha.
And then it kind of comes back up. But I mean, I've done a wedding for an influencer in 4 weeks. I've done that event in 4 weeks. And so I've had brides on my calendar for 2.5 years because of COVID. So I've seen it all. I like if you're doing a full custom build out, at least a year, but 6 months we can do anything.
Yeah. I mean, you can do it in 4 weeks, but just
that too.
That's crazy. What's your favorite part of planning a wedding?
There's so many.
If you could pick one.
Okay, it's really not part of planning. It is actually on wedding day specific. Corporate clients and parties are a little different, but wedding specific is we always build in the timeline a private room reveal with the bride and groom. Sometimes the moms, whoever paid for it or wants to see it, was involved in the planning. And for me, whenever I open the door, the curtains, whatever it might be, and I get really teary-eyed when I think about it, of like when the brides look at what they've invested their time in, but not only did I bring their vision to life, I exceeded it. And I know that.
Yeah.
And I just over the years really crafting my craft and knowing how to make that happen. It's one of the most special moments really of I love it. Like I squeal, I cry, all the things. It just reminds me that I really am doing what I love and what I'm supposed to do. So that's not the planning part. That's like the final part.
That's amazing because as you said, like they're investing at least 6 months, right? Typically, or a year or more. And it's a lot of money. It's a lot of chaos sometimes. Every single bride goes through highs and lows, like one day you're going to be crying because they're so stressed out or they have family drama. And another one, they're going to be so excited. And to see everything come together, I cannot even imagine what that feels for you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So let's talk about the balance between multi-large scale events and maintaining a personal touch on every single event that you produce. How do you do that?
It's hard. It's really hard. Yeah. Like I said, for me, I know what I'm good at. And so I know it's texting the brides, thinking about them that day, getting on stories. And I really like to talk about my week and my day. So if I'm not emailing my brides, they know what I'm doing. There's a reason why I'm not emailing them. That's like half the telling them, oh, I have an event this week. They know that I'm busy. Versus not being on stories and not emailing them. And they're like, well, are you even working on my event? And I love checking on our clients. And then I have a team that works on our emails.
Okay.
And that is like emails for me. I can't do it. I can't see them. So again, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not. So.
I mean, you obviously have a team. I have one too. It's humbling to literally say out loud, like, I'm actually really good at this and I'm not good at that. But knowing how to navigate that and honestly give your team what you're not that great of or you
Yeah.
don't love is the way to go. And a lot of people, I feel like they struggle to manage that, thinking that they should do all the things.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You delegate.
Yeah.
Like,
As much
it's
as possible.
okay. Yeah, and I understand, like, when I started out, probably the first 4 years, I couldn't delegate that much because I didn't have the budget for
Yeah.
a content creator. I didn't have the budget for someone to answer my emails, and so I did have to do it all, but as you grow and scale, you start divvying that out, and then that's how you continue to grow.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
the flow is amazing.
Yes.
I have 2 questions. I want advice for brides or for brides to be that are trying to find the perfect wedding planner.
Mhm.
And I want also to give advice to a wedding vendor that perhaps somebody who's wanting to step into the wedding industry.
Yeah.
So let's start with the first one.
Okay.
For somebody who's getting married, what is the best advice you can give them?
Oh gosh. I would say don't talk to everyone about your wedding. I have seen so many brides talk to their mother-in-law and then they love this idea. And then I see them talk to their mom. Now they want to change it from a large wedding to a small wedding. Then they talk to their best friend and their best friend was like, "Oh, we did this. Don't do what we did. Do the opposite." And then who are you? What event do you actually want? And so I say talk to whoever you feel is the most important. If it's your fiance, which I think it is, but if it is maybe you think respecting your parents, what they want, if they're the ones paying for it, and then really sticking to the plan. So it's okay if it takes you a little bit to get to the plan. You don't have to rush it, but figuring out what the plan is, what you really want, and then running with it.
Which actually leads me to this question.
Yeah.
If somebody's wanting to work with you, how do you lead them through the plan, basically trusting the process, right? Until the big reveal that we spoke about.
Right.
What is the process like working with you?
So when a client books with us, we just have an initial meeting to talk about what they want. What are your top 3? Is it a DJ over a band? Do you care about paper goods? Do you not? And then also, what is our role and how we communicate? I'm very specific. We work Tuesday through Thursday. That's it. So if you email me Thursday at 4 o'clock, I won't respond till Tuesday. Don't get mad at me. Really having those open conversations up front, and that way all expectations are known. But then we really keep having conversation about, do you want a destination wedding? Let's figure out the pricing of that. Let's figure out if you want to build out a tent, a ranch wedding. We try to give all the options. And as you're having conversations about each of those options, you naturally kind of come into what you really want.
Okay. I love it. Thank you.
I could talk forever about that.
Oh, I'm
so,
sure. I'm
yes.
sure. I know your process is very unique. And then, of course, people can see it through the weddings that you produce.
Yeah.
For somebody that is looking up to you or somebody that wants to start becoming a wedding planner or event planner, what would you say to them?
I would say do not start planning a planning company because you plan your own wedding. I truly mean that. If you feel like after you plan your wedding, you are called to this industry, then what I would recommend is shadowing, interning. Even if you think it's wedding planning, try dipping your toes into something else too, so you understand just the event industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Maybe contract with a florist, maybe see if you can come on with a rental company and see if you can help with their emails. And that way you understand just how everything operates. When I started out, I did start just by starting friends' weddings, having no idea. Like my first timeline was a legal notepad. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for letting me do this. But I shadowed a few planners. I reached out to a ton. And I will say now, being in the industry and growing in the industry, I remember who responded and who didn't.
Really?
I remember who allowed me to come and shadow and who didn't.
Yeah.
For me, I take that really personal. Like when people reach out, that are interested, I want to just like take them in and say, hey, here are some dates. Let's have a call.
That's awesome.
If you want to come shadow, that's great. And a lot of times by the end of it, they're like, this is hard work. I'm like, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it looks so glamorous from the outside.
And it's not. No.
Yeah. And again, that smile of yours, like you're making it look so easy. And it's not. It's a lot of hard work, but it's also so rewarding.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Awesome. How can people connect with you and find you online?
So I love Instagram. I love it so much. And so I actually don't have TikTok. We have TikTok for our personal, but Instagram, Hunter Orcutt Events. And then our website is hunterorcutt.co. Email is hello@hunterorcutt.co, not .com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Yes.